Hello, Aquarius. You are some of the deepest teachers of my life. Do you get that a lot? Yeah. Yeah. I learn a lot from you guys. I learn a lot. And I have to say, this December is going to be a month of, it's going to be asking a lot. And we are heading into a time for you guys that is going to be intense and really deep because of where Saturn is going. Now, before I get started with all the notes I have for December, because it's intense, I am going to say that I am wearing Pink Loon's beautiful stuff. Beautiful, one-of-a-kind stuff. She is working on some new amazing stuff. She just reopened the shop. She's got amazing things. I'm going to leave her Etsy link below, along with a 15% off promo code just for you guys, so please check her out. Now, Aquarius. Aquarius, we got to sit down. We got to look at some of these notes. And I do have quite the notebook going this month. I just needed it because, okay, let's get started. I'm going to shuffle here, and we're going to talk a little astrology, and then we're going to get right into it. I am so excited to see what's coming out for you guys because I just have this feeling it's going to be epic. So, we have a full moon in Gemini on December 3rd. That is in your 5th house of relationships and romance. It's like, and creativity. You know, it's heart-centered stuff here that's going to be illuminated. Now, that's going to feel kind of intense for you guys. Because the end of this year and just the way the moon cycle is working and the way that Saturn is moving and the way the things are just shifting around, it's a very good, this full moon is a very intense time for looking at what we have learned over the last year or two, what we have learned during Saturn. This is our last full moon before Saturn moves on. And it's an intense moon. I'm going to do a full moon video, so check that out if you're curious more about this moon and what the heck is going on with it, because it's intense. It's going to be asking you to really take a hard look at some things, right? And not necessarily that you have to make big changes or that something has to shift or that you have to do anything specific that's appropriate. You just might be finding you might be finding yourself a little tender on that front. Honestly, it might sting a little bit. It might prick a little bit. Just thinking about some things that you wish you could do differently. Maybe you'll even, honestly, I don't like to say this, Aquarius, but you might even feel a little bit like you wish you could be different. Don't let it get to you though, right? Full moons can be a little touchy, and this one just happens to be so. Now, we also have a new moon in Sag on December 18th. That is in your 11th house of friendships and your community. It's your energy. 11th house energy is your energy, and Sag is very supportive and cooperative with that. So your new moon, you're going to be looking at what you want your community to look like, what you want your friends to look like, planting some seeds of intention about your friendships, about your platonic relationships, really committing to what that's going to look like for you in the next couple years and the new year, right? We're heading into solstice, so it's kind of a nice last new moon for you Aquarians out there, because it's a softer and gentler energy, and it is asking you to just kind of go in there. And now we are dealing with a Mercury retrograde for most of December, so that'll be fun, and it'll slow us all down to do this moon work. Now, the big showstopper of December is the Saturn shift from Sagittarius into Capricorn. So this is moving from your 11th house. We've been having you really working on your friendships and your community for a couple years now. And now we're heading into 12th house energy. Now, Saturn in a 12th house, and this is especially for Aquarius rising, but I do think it affects even suns and moons a little bit. Saturn in your 12th house is a really intense placement, and it is going to be working with you, not on you, working with you until 2020. And that energy, 12th house energy, is the secret places. It's this expansive, boundless, connected energy, right? The Piscean energy, 12th house is. And Saturn is this restrictor that wants to get down to business. Now, you guys, Aquarians, I love you guys. You do have a rigidity, right? You have your ideals. You have your practices. You have the work that you do. You figured out ways to be these beautiful aliens, as I love to call you, in the physical plane. And you can get really attached to those practices. Saturn in the 12th house is going to ask you to look at that rigidity. It's funny because Saturn is rigid, and it is actually one of your original rulers. It rules you. So you have a nice affinity with Saturn in some ways. But in the 12th house like this, that structure in the more expansive, secret, healing energy of the 12th house is like, oh no, we got to look at why you're so attached to that. Even structure needs another structure to look at it and say, hey, what's going on there? So it's kind of intense. So the next few years, you're going to be asked to look at any rigidity that is, while it was a useful tool for a while, it may be needing to shift a little bit. It may be needing to find some more flexibility. You may be needing to open your mind up a little bit to what else is out there. Okay, so just keep that in mind with the Saturn energy. Now, like I said, it's originally Saturn is one of your ruling planets before we had Uranus. So it can. Oh my guys. I don't ever plan these readings. I'm turning your cards over right now, and I don't even know what to say. You know how I was saying that full moon, that moon cycle is kind of just looking at your relationships, your romantic relationships and your platonic relationships. That's what the moon cycle is going to be doing here. Not only that, it's compounded by some Neptune stuff and by that Mercury retrograde. There's a lot happening for you in your relationship houses, 5th and 11th. And I do think you are going to be looking back. And I think you are going to have to be doing some work on this. And I swear, I do not have a goal in the cards that come out here. So, okay, so I'm going to show you the first 5 cards because just the first 5 cards alone show me the first half of this month. We have the Ace of Cups, the Lovers, the Devil, and then we have the 6 of Cups and the 10 of Cups. So for me, this energy is not so much about you guys. I mean, for some of you, yeah, sure. You may be feeling very ready to fall in love and find that partner, find that other alien in the world that gets you. Absolutely, because this is a new beginning. However, I'm going to go a lot deeper with this, you guys, because these 5 cards together paint a very deep picture about the way time works, the way relationships work, and the way that you can associate love with both boundless freedom and connection and also with imprisonment. And not just you, but anybody. But you can associate love with openness and expansion and also with imprisonment. You can be grappling with what relationships even are. You can be grappling with what is the meaning underneath them. I mean, that's what I'm seeing here. Why I'm saying that. So we have this Ace of Cups, which for me, it's like kind of, I almost feel like you guys, some pieces are going to be clicking into place with that moon cycle that's so highlighting what's going on with you. You might be finding that you've been trying to put a certain perspective or understanding about the way relationships work in your life and in general into place somehow. And it's been eluding you for a little while. The Ace of Cups is telling me you get some kind of answer. Some of you, this may just really be your own internal process. Some of you, this may be in a relationship you are currently in. And some of you, this may be in your community, or it could be in your family life. But people that are close to you, the people that do touch your heart, the people that do really know you deeply, you're going to be having some kind of connection. And that connection has everything to do with these kind of oppositional energies, okay? Because here, the Lovers and the Devil, this is like insanely poetic, and I love it. I love this so much for Aquarians because you guys can roll with this kind of thinking. These are the 2 sides of this coin, of partnership, of one-on-one connection. Really, one-on-one connection is even more what I would say. And I do think you guys have a very dualistic relationship with one-on-one connections. On the one hand, you love it. You love to connect. You love to get in there and find out answers and have conversations and connect and put the pieces together and really care deeply for the people that get close to you. And it's amazing. And that is about partnership, and you're all about it. But it always comes with this shadow. These Lovers show up in the Devil's card as chained up individuals. This can be about obsession. This can be about feeling trapped. This can be about feeling that things will hold you in one cycle forever and ever. And what I'm seeing here is that you're trying to figure out, differentiate between what is a cycle that you've built in your head and what's a real cycle. You're also trying to differentiate what's real expansion and what is idealistic expansion that can't ever be put into practice here. And so there's this dualism going on, and it has everything to do with your past experiences and where you want to go. Because this is about the past and this is about the future. And this card specifically, this Six of Cups, is like the deja vu card. It's deja vu card. It's the nostalgia card. It's one of those cards where when you're feeling this energy, it can be romantic, it can be beautiful, but it can also make time feel like it's collapsing in on itself. And what is real, what is fake? You can be asking questions about the stories that have been told, what you've told yourself. You can be asking questions about the things you've let go of and the things that you've pulled close. You can be questioning what was real and what was fake. Ten of Cups is about wanting... You guys, deep down, I think what you want is you want the Ten of Cups. You want the community. You want the love. You want the partnership. You want the showing up. You want to believe that this beautiful pasture is possible for you. And yet you've been really resistant to it. And I think for you, it feels like it's so associated with these deeper, heavier energies that can get you locked somewhere. And that's why I'm saying it's like, for some of you, this may be really literal. You may be having a relationship that you can't decide where you fall on it. You can't decide if it's this entrapped thing that you don't want to continue on and on. Maybe you want your freedom back, or if it's something that's really beautiful and can take you long distances. But what I do like about the Ace of Cups is you're getting an answer there. Just be aware, you're going to be feeling really tender about your relationships. You might feel defensive about the way you're handling them. Like with a person that you love, you may feel like you're pushing them away, and you might feel really, really defensive about how you've handled a situation, or how you might just feel defensive within yourself. That's okay. I mean, there you go. So that's a huge part of the last finishing up here with Saturn and Sagittarius. You're going to be looking back at your relationships. You're going to be looking back at the choices you made the last few years. And you might be finding yourself questioning some of those. However, on the other front, on the work front, and as we go into the second half of the month, we're getting some real clarity here. We have the Knight of Swords, the Emperor, and the Seven of Pentacles. So Knight of Swords. Here you guys are kind of back in full gear. I think coming out of that really deep introspection, you're feeling a little bit more like you can get things done, and you're going to be wanting to push forward. You're going to be wanting to slash forward into projects, because with this Emperor energy as well, we're looking at something where you have an idea of what you're going to do, and you feel determined that you are going to accomplish it and you are going to do it. So it's coming your way. There's some kind of high-speed action going on here. Now, you may be dealing with personalities who are pushing you to do new projects. You may be in meetings with people where you're doing new projects. You may be starting a new venture. You may be getting into new pasture here, but I really see this with career and with your identity in the world and with what you're wanting to create, what you're wanting to do in 2018. What does that look like? You're going to feel very determined. However, there is this slowdown energy, and it is, because this month is asking us to look back. Seven of Pentacles is kind of looking back. Look at everything you've done. Look at what has worked. Here's where, Saturn going into your 12th house, this Seven of Pentacles makes a lot of sense. Look at how you've been doing work and all your passion projects and all of the things you've been trying to bring into the world and make manifest, right? Look at your work habits with that and your balancing out habits with that, and make sure that, and think about adjusting anything that has been slowing you down, or has caused you to be more tired, or has caused you to question what you're doing. Look at those things and be willing to adjust a little bit, is what the Seven of Pentacles is telling me. Because while you have this determination, both of these energies can be a little stubborn and rigid, and they can miss details, and they can miss the fact that something's not being looked at deep down and underneath. The Seven of Pentacles is just saying, yes, go forward. Go forward with those things. Go forward with that communication. Go forward with those projects. Go forward with trying things out. But slow down and make sure that any of your practices that aren't serving you can just go. You might just find you need to let something go. And it can be something small. It can be just like, you don't have to meditate every single day. If you have relationships you need to take care of, go spend some time with those people. It's not going to destroy anything, right? And that's where that Saturn lesson is going to start showing up already, starting at the end of December. The last two cards, I don't make this, I don't even know what to say, Aquarius. I love you guys so much. I want you to know that I appreciate you guys, and you are my greatest teachers, and I just want you to know that. But we have the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups. Really interesting. I mean, this is really interesting energy for you guys showing up here with all of that time collapsing. What do relationships mean? What does engagement mean? What does connection mean? All those questions coming up. It ends with the two royals, elites in the deck that are about emotional connectedness, emotional awareness, emotional intelligence, honestly, which you guys have. But you're a couple steps away from like the core of the emotional intelligence, because you aren't water. You are not water. You don't work the way that water works. These guys work in water. And water is a lot more fluid. It isn't a conductor the way that you guys, it doesn't have like a nice electrical current that can be directed. The way that water works is you're in it and you're flowing with it. So once again, I think what I'm getting mostly with this, you may be dealing with water signs, or you may be dealing with people that are asking you to connect with your emotional side. You may be feeling inspired to connect with a more emotional side of yourself with everything that's going on. You may be inspired to have conversations about what that looks like. However, what you're also going to be finding is you are connecting in with this ability to flow in the water. You know, if you're in the ocean, you have to just accept that you're part of this way bigger entity that isn't you having control necessarily, but that it's you just being present. And that's enough, you guys. I think that's the biggest thing I want to say here, is that I think sometimes you guys worry you're not enough. If you can't conduct, if you can't rationalize and do the work and show up and get it done and make things happen, if you can't get there with it, then it's not enough. It's not enough, and it bothers you that it can't, that you're not doing more. It bothers you that you aren't pushing harder. But these two right here are saying it is enough to be present. It's enough to be present with your beautiful self. And for those lucky enough to get to be there with you in the deepest parts of yourselves, they absolutely appreciate you being present in that ocean. That isn't about you being able to conduct at a high level, but is about you just showing up. And I think so much of this kind of intense energy wanting to push forward, here's that wanting to conduct. This month is asking you, yeah, you can do all that. That's there. It's going to be there. But what this month is asking you to also do is look at ways to connect and be present with all your relationships. It doesn't have to be about love. It can be. It absolutely can. Some of you are really working through something with a partnership. You're working through where you're sitting with that. But a lot of you are just looking at relationship in general and looking at how to just be present in that. What does that mean? What does that look like? That is really your biggest thing here. You're going to just be, I think you're going to be feeling motivated to just look at that and take some time with it. And I do think what I'm seeing here is that your relationships will absolutely improve. And you will find that by the time we hit the new year, you're having some more answers to what looks good and what feels good for you. And what real connection looks like, so that you feel that you are seen and understood, and that you're not being asked to change or be something different than you are in order to be loved and in order to be connected. So that's really beautiful, you guys. It's intense. You might be going through some interesting wormholes in your mind and in your heart this month. Honestly, what I'm seeing here is much more about the philosophical understanding of connection. So be patient with yourselves, be kind with yourself, be kind with others. Express yourself if you are feeling that you are going down these tunnels. The people that are around you would love to know that. I have a feeling. And don't buy into the scary story that things are trying to trap you. That's the other thing I'll say, Aquarians. I love you guys, but the world doesn't want to trap you. The world wants you to just show up. All right, I love you guys so much. I'm going to leave my website and my email and my Instagram in the description box. I do private video readings on Skype, phone. I can do pre-recorded. I'd love to work with you. I'd love working with Aquarians more than anything in the world. I do. I love it. We laugh and have such a fantastic time and get real. I'm also going to leave Pink Loon's info in the description box box with the 15% off, so please check her out. I'm sending you guys all the best, truly. I want nothing but the best for you guys. Be ready for a really powerful new year. Talk to you soon. Bye.